Good morning, Richard. Can you tell us what is Cottle Coffee journeys in Malaysia?
Has it been? It's been an adventure, I can tell you that much. Basically, we started around about 8 or 9 years ago, and we were just supplying from Melbourne direct to one cafe in Cyberjaya. And we started supplying in. Then we got a couple more accounts and started to build up. At that point, we were sending it all actually from Melbourne. From there, we decided there's actually a really good market over here. So down at Starling and Uptown, we opened our first cafe there, started using that as a cafe, distribution, and place to have meetings and offices and things like that. And we grew out of that probably within about 2.5 years. So it actually didn't take that long to start to build up. At that point, we had to start looking at roasting because we were still supplying from Melbourne at that point. And obviously that was flying it over, very expensive, because we chose not to use shipping and just went straight with the planes, fly it over. So we'd roast it on Monday, send it on Tuesday, and it was over there on Thursday. So that built up a really good reputation for the business. And then we started with new premises, started the training academy at the front. Then we had the roastery at the back and a cafe at the front also. And basically that went really well for about 5 years. They basically started running out of space as soon as COVID hit. We were looking at expanding, getting a new premises and all of that. And once that happened, I basically said, guys, you've got to hold on until I can get over there and we can actually do something with the business over there. So we ended up having to move the academy off-site to expand. We moved the cafe off-site because they needed a space for roasting. And then probably about a year and a half ago, we managed to get a new Tesla roaster, a 30 kilo. So now we've got the 5 kilo roaster for doing specialty roasts and little contract roasts and the really good stuff. And then more of the commercial lines that we're supplying to the cafes and restaurants and that through the 30 kilo line. So that's pretty well been where we're at. And with the new premises, we're going to expand the academy upstairs, larger cafe and retail at the front. And it's also around the corner from our Tropicana Gardens, from our main cafe and very well front of the house for us. So it's come a long way. Where you guys are at the moment in the green bean room is specifically designed to take anything up to about 2.5 containers of coffee. We can start to get into green bean sales and have our own supply for roasting out the back, just off to your right-hand side. So we've come a long way in the last, I would say, 1.5 years. Even though I haven't been there, these guys have done a fantastic job while I haven't been there. Yep, definitely, Rain. She should be smiling. So that's why I'm looking forward to getting back and continuing the growth and continuing in Malaysia to build the brand over there.
Right, but nice to know that your first outlet was in, or your first client was in Cyberjaya, and now you have a massive warehouse here, which is, very beautiful and impressive. So I just want to know, what was your engagement with Global Victoria and how it developed till now?
Well, basically, I think our first contact was with you, wasn't it, Ben? And we caught up in Melbourne that time, and generally it's just rolled on from there, and the engagement from you guys have been fantastic. It's been such a help with contacts, with organising stuff that we wouldn't know how to do from here and really didn't have the insights, that you guys have been fantastic helping us along that. So as far as trade shows, everything like that, as you know, we wouldn't have been able to do any of those without the leads and the contacts that you've provided for us.
And then, how would you describe, moving forward, engagement with VGTI KL, which is my office in KL here? How do you see the future development, or where's your vision for Cottle Coffee?
What we really want to do is get the base in KL running perfectly, supply that market, and make that really strong base. From there, we'll also be looking at expanding over possibly Vietnam, supplying to Singapore, maybe even Bangkok, but very restrictive there. But that's what I basically saw with KL.
Moving forward, since the day you are here till today, what do you see the Melbourne coffee culture in Malaysia? Is it evolving, or people are embracing?
Let's go back 8 years. Everybody was after the citrus, the lemon. They wanted the specialty coffees that were graded at over 90. And that was what we were getting asked for. So we had to adapt a few roasts for the market at that time. But we also continued supplying our espresso supreme and all of our standard blends that we use over here for the cafes and restaurants, because we know general customers, they just want a really good cup of coffee consistently, not too acidic, enjoyable, a bit of a chocolatey, something you've had a coffee when you finish, the lingering finish on there. And that's what we do here. We've managed to transpose it over there on the new roaster. And the market over the next 5 years, surprisingly, started to come back around to sort of the Melbourne style of coffee. So we're not getting asked in the last 5 years so much for your fruit-based, all the peach and the lemon and the citrus and all of that. So they're not asking that so much now. They're more preferring a cup of coffee that they can sit down, enjoy, and have a second one if they want. Those specialty coffees, you have one and go, yeah, that was nice, thanks, that's an experience. I'll see you next month. Whereas, we like doing coffees that like, I enjoyed that so much, I'm going to have a second one.
Oh, nice. So, since I've been here for 8 years, and what is what you see Cottle Coffee, future in Malaysia or the region?
That's the reason why I'm concentrating more. We get offers to open cafes here in Melbourne, but
cafes is the way to go.
We do about 4 tonne through the premises, with this roaster being our main commercial one, and the smaller pro bat over the back there. So we do about 4 tonne per week through here. That's capacity for us. So at that, for us to expand, we either need to invest a lot of money over here on a really competitive market that's totally saturated, or we can concentrate on KL, that is an expanding market, that they're loving our products. We've got a great setup over there. So I definitely see more expansion over in Malaysia than I do in Melbourne moving forward.
Nice. So, we will love to grow together with you to expand not only in Malaysia, but the Southeast Asia region as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, once we get that right in KL, that's our main base, and then the rest will just flow on from there.
So, anything you'd like to share with us, Richard, before we conclude this coffee chat?
Not really. Basically, I'd like to thank all of you guys for your help and the opportunity that you've provided for us, and looking forward to working with all of you moving forward.
Good. So, Richard, anyway, thank you very much for hosting us today, and also your wonderful team here today for hosting us and try to convert me into a coffee drinker. And I will see you quite soon in KL.
Looking forward to it.